How can you predict river flooding without river gauges? Georgetown County now has a few of them, but how helpful are they and how long will they stick around?
We'll tell you about that coming up in a live report. And although floodwaters are receding in many areas, there's a hidden danger many will face. What it is and how to protect yourself is coming up next.
And the state of South Carolina. Governor Nikki Haley brings us up to date on our status after that historic flooding last week. How many people are still in shelters tonight? How many National Guardsmen are on patrol? We have those numbers for you.
You're watching ABC 15 News at 5.
Tonight, the state of South Carolina is in disaster assessment mode.
Emergency officials in Georgetown County say they believe they've seen the worst of the flooding. The good news we've been waiting for days. We'll have a live report from Georgetown in just a few moments.
But first, Governor Nikki Haley held a news conference this afternoon. We want to bring you up to date on that. There are still 2,500 National Guardsmen who are working missions across the state. There are now 503 emergency adjusters who are being brought in. That's in addition to the 2,800 that are already in the state. There are still 10 shelters open with about 300 people staying in them.
Our focus now is very much counties reducing the number of people in shelters, which is us making sure that they have good permanent housing and good permanent placement and where they're going to go. So we're going to be working on that all this week.
The governor continues to encourage anyone with flood damage to register with FEMA, and she said if you get a rejection letter, to read the fine print. Often those claims are rejected simply because additional information is needed. But if you need some help filling out those forms or information on disaster assistance that's available, FEMA is opening disaster resource centers in our area. One is now open at the Pentecostal Holiness Conference Center on Ron McNair Boulevard in Lake City. 3 will soon open in Horry County. They are open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. If you have damage from flooding, no matter what county you're in, you are encouraged to call FEMA and begin the application process for disaster assistance. You can go to disasterassistance.gov or call them. It's 1-800-621-FEMA.
Georgetown County's Emergency Operations Center went from OPCON 1 to OPCON 3 today. That's a sign that the worst is over.
One of the challenges facing the county over the past few days was figuring out how high that water would go along the Black and Petey rivers as well as Mingo Creek.
That's because there were no river gauges in place in the county. Well, that changed this weekend, and ABC 15's Joel Allen is live at the Emergency Operations Center in Georgetown with an update for us. Joel?
Those temporary river gauges have already proven their value. The Weather Service has determined that river levels in Georgetown County are dropping, and the county has seen the worst of its flooding. Still, county officials say it's been a nightmare trying to help residents get a handle on what those floodwaters will do because they didn't have the data to back them up. But now, after South Carolina put in a request to FEMA for river gauges, the U.S. Geological Survey installed a handful of them on the Black, Petey, Lynches, and Sandpit rivers. With those gauges now in place, a Weather Service hydrologist says he can now monitor trends in the water, see peaks for the day, and make predictions. The problem is those gauges are not permanent.
These are temporary. Anything beyond this event, I couldn't tell you what's going to happen with gauging there. I can tell you that at some point in the future, whether it's a week or 2 weeks or a month, they will come out.
Rick Newer says he asked for a few more of those river gauges, but they were in locations that weren't accessible due to high water, so they were not installed. And Newer says it could be that the river gauges were never installed in the first place because the Black River that comes into Georgetown County has been so tame. It's had very few flooding problems over the past century or so. But county officials say they certainly do recognize the need for those river gauges now, and we will tell you what the county is doing to get permanent river gauges. That's coming up tonight on ABC 15 News at 6. Live in Georgetown, Joel Allen, ABC 15 News.
All right, thanks, Joel. And officials say new moon this week will keep tides high, but water levels in Winyah Bay should not go higher than what they've been over the past few days. Well, we have a correction on information we reported from the South Carolina Department of Transportation. The DOT reported this weekend it would be in Horry County today to start residential debris removal. But Horry County Emergency Management said today that that's not correct. Citizens in the unincorporated areas of Horry County are encouraged to take all flooding-related debris to one of the 24 Horry County Solid Waste Authority's recycling centers. We have a list of locations on WPDE.com. And if you live in Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, Atlantic Beach, Surfside Beach, or Conway, you're asked to contact the city for debris removal information. Late this afternoon, Horry County's Emergency Operations Center went from OPCON 1 to OPCON 2 because the county's situation is stabilizing.
A part of Interstate 95 that was closed because of the historic flooding has now reopened. The South Carolina Department of Transportation says the southbound lanes on a 16-mile stretch of 95 opened this morning. The northbound lanes in that area are still closed right now. The interstate was closed as crews made repairs to bridges and along a low-lying section of the interstate. We saw some much-needed sunshine in our area today.
Forecaster Alina Lee's in the First Warning Weather Center to tell us what the rest of the night will look like. Alina?
Thanks, Tim and Allison. Yeah, another day full of sunny skies. Well, at least partially sunny for the most part. We did see a couple of clouds out there earlier this morning and even right now, but live Doppler 15,000, look at that. Nothing on the radar, second afternoon in a row. And we are going to continue with that clean radar for the rest of the evening as well. We are tracking a cold front far to our north and west, and it is going to arrive quickly as we head in through the daytime tomorrow and push offshore later on in the evening hours. But we'll track that in just a minute because it could mean rain for us, but I'll let you know in just a few minutes about that. Temperatures now 75 in Myrtle Beach, 78 in Florence, and it is 75 in Darlington. Here's an hourly look at your Grand Strand forecast. By 11 o'clock, temperatures will fall to the mid-60s with mostly clear skies, waking up tomorrow morning in the low to mid-60s everywhere on the coast. Across the PD and on the border belt, temperatures falling into the mid-60s by 11 under mostly clear skies as we head through the evening and overnight hours. Tomorrow morning, overnight lows will fall to the upper 50s across the PD and border belt again, so a nice cool evening ahead. I'll let you know how long these cool evenings last and how long we're expecting to see some sunshine coming up a little bit later.
The rain has stopped, the sun is shining, but that does not mean all of the challenges the flood has brought are gone.
ABC 15's Erin McPherson talked to the Waccamaw Riverkeeper today about the bacteria in the river and floodwaters. So, Erin, what'd you find out?
She told me she is concerned about the amount of bacteria that could be in the Waccamaw River. This week, her team is going out to sample that water, but she said it's a proven fact after flooding that bacteria levels spike. That's because all of the bacteria on land, like human and animal waste, come into the river. She recommends not playing in the water. A local doctor says if you have been in the water with an open sore, make sure your tetanus shot is up to date. And if you accidentally consumed any of that floodwater, pay attention to your body.
There's all types of wonderful little organisms that can make us sick. So if you've swallowed any water, watch out for fever, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, and don't say, oh, I just have a flu virus or some type of a GI virus. I would worry more about bacteria in these situations.
Rhodes says if you rely on private well water, get that tested to make sure it's safe to drink. The Department of Health and Environmental Control is offering free testing of private well water for fecal coliform bacteria this week. There are testing offices in Florence and Myrtle Beach. Tim?
All right, thanks, Erin. And for more information on DHEX tests, just go to WPDE.com.
Flooding has left dozens of crops in our area, like this one behind me, in a soggy mess. Now, coming up next, you're going to hear from a couple of Johnsonville farmers who have not only lost all of their crops, but cattle as well.
And the St. Francis Animal Center continues to help pets displaced from their homes because of flooding.
Find out how the Humane Society of the United States is helping them out next.
You're watching ABC 15 News at 5.
Well, one of America's most popular TV shows returned for season 6 last night and took the internet by storm.
The Walking Dead is back to a new world of chaos, mistrust, and of course zombies. Last night's premiere was 90 minutes long. It gave viewers a look at the new plan the gang has come up with to try and keep zombies out of Alexandria.
During the commercial breaks, viewers also got a look at a new airplane-themed spin-off called Flight 462. The web show will have a big impact on the show The Fear the Walking Dead. That's the other spin-off, and it's season 2, with one of the surviving members of that doomed flight set to join the cast. I missed that part because we DVR'd it.
You were fast-forwarding? I saw it. It was actually not bad, and I think they premiere it online every Sunday, so you can go on and watch
it was great. I didn't miss a minute.
Oh, you're a Walking Dead? I knew Allison was a Walking Dead fan. You're a Walking Dead fan.
I love Glenn. He's my favorite.
You love, Glenn is awesome.
Glenn.
Yes.
All right.
Well, fans of Will Ferrell, see, I love Daryl. Will Ferrell can now party at a bar paying homage to the comedic actor.
Stay Classy New York is a Manhattan bar featuring decor and drinks inspired by Ferrell's TV and movie characters. The bar will also host parties inspired by Ferrell films like Anchorman and Talladega Nights.
One of the bar's co-owners says Ferrell has been a constant source of joy for him over the years. The owners say Will is always welcome to drop in, and I bet he will.
Wow, that's amazing. That is awesome. They should have made one in San Diego, though.
Yeah.
Stay Classy San Diego.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah. That would have worked, definitely. But well, and that one could have had more about Elf in New
yeah.
York.
That's,
so
okay, you're right.
that could work.
Well, you know.
Great movie too.
Yes, very good movie.
Yeah.
All right.
All of his movies are great, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to see some great news for weather-wise because smooth sailing here on out. We're looking at lots of sunshine for much of the work week, but tomorrow is going to be the only slight minor bump in the road because we are seeing a little bit more cloud coverage out there. There will be just an isolated shower possible, maybe a stray shower at best, but I think 99.9% of the viewing area will go throughout the entire day dry. High temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s, and then even cooler after that front passes through. It will be sunny and 75. And that trend really continues, but our temperatures will continue to fall as well. We'll be back in the 60s pretty soon here, Tim and Allison.
All right, thanks, Alina. Aladdin fans will now get the chance to see the late Robin Williams as Genie in never-before-seen footage.
The clips are from a recording session for the film. They were previewed on ABC's Good Morning America. The cast members reminisced about Williams and making that movie.
In addition to voicing the role, Williams also sang the song Friend Like Me, which was nominated for a Golden Globe and an Oscar. The clips will be available on digital versions of the film released later this month. Still hard to believe he's gone.
I know, what a talent.
Yeah, some of my first favorite TV show ever, the Mork and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy.
Mork and
yeah,
Mindy.
it was
Great
so
show.
good.
Nanu, Nanu.
Some residents along the Edisto River are still wading through the floodwaters tonight. How they say they're making the best of their situation.
And 5 Democrats are now preparing for their first presidential debate tomorrow night. We'll give you a preview of what to expect next.
The average price of gas continues to fall tonight as we take a look at your pump patrol numbers. According to the Lundberg survey, the average price has fallen ½ cent in the past 2 weeks as crude oil prices went up. The average for a gallon of regular gas is now $2.34. According to Gas Buddy, the average price for a gallon of regular in South Carolina is $1.95. Southwest Airlines says it has now fixed a glitch that caused headaches for people across the country. ABC's Karen Travers explains why that problem grounded hundreds of flights yesterday and forced people to adjust their travel plans.
Problem solved, but what exactly was the problem? Southwest Airlines says its computer systems are back up and running this morning, but hasn't yet said the reason for the technical glitches that caused travel headaches for thousands of passengers on Sunday. Southwest is still advising its customers today to arrive about 2 hours before their departure and to print their boarding passes out before they get to the airport. The technical problems began Sunday morning. The airline's website, mobile app, computers and reservation centers all impacted.
I usually do online check-in and I couldn't do it, so I was like, something's wrong with their computer.
About 500 out of 3,600 daily flights were delayed Sunday. Southwest said it used backup procedures to get customers checked in and boarded.
We typically come maybe just an hour before the flight, so we decided to get here early so we could actually make it home.
At airports across the nation, lines stretched out the door.
We heard about it on the news yesterday, so we wanted to make sure we got a really early start this morning.
In Los Angeles, tents were set up and water was handed out to try and help passengers stay cool as they waited out the delays.
Things seem to be back to normal today for Southwest. Fewer delays and much shorter lines at airports. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
American Airlines experienced computer problems last month that prevented passengers from checking in, and it briefly halted flights on select routes. Airline officials say they fixed that problem and there was no indication that its system was hacked.
Here's a look at what we're following next at 6. The man accused of killing his parents in Horry County back in March has now pleaded guilty.
We'll tell you where his parents were found and who else is awaiting trial. Well, they say age is just a number, and that saying is true for a 92-year-old Florida man.
Jake Peterson from our sister station in Tampa shows us how a veteran didn't let his age stop him from crossing off a wild adventure from his bucket list.
Inside the American Legion 186 in Brooksville, you'll find lots of heroes. Veterans from past wars hang out here every day. But there's one World War II veteran.
You don't remember George Burns.
That is getting all the attention. Jack Steffen is 92 years old, so you wouldn't expect him to be here. On Saturday morning, Steffen became one of the oldest people to skydive at Skydive City in Zephyr Hills. His friends were skeptical, to say the least.
I said, God bless you. I said, I'll be there when you do it, Jack.
Why? Why, Jack? Yeah, because it sounds exciting. Never done it before. Let's try it.
Here we go! Up he went, 13,500 feet.
The most fearful was standing in the doorway.
And out he goes.
You're floating now, it's like just on a cloud. There's no noise, you're just floating. It's serene.
On the ground, his Legion buddies were waiting.
It was a thrill to watch. He had people there that were just watching him because he was 92.
For those who say age is just a number, in Jack's case, you'd be right.
People should try that more often. Live life with gusto. Really, yeah, it's fun. Give you something to look forward to.
And Jack is looking forward to jumping once again.
He told his instructor, he says, I'll be back when I'm 95.
Do things. Makes life interesting. That's what it's all about. Like all you young guys, try things. It makes you feel younger.
Reporting in Brooksville, Jake Peterson, ABC Action News.
I like Jack.
I do too.
He's cool.
I like a friend. Why, Jack? Why?
That's me. You won't catch me skydiving at 25, 95, 105.
I got to admit, I don't have any interest in jumping out of a perfectly good
that's
airplane.
what I really want to do.
You do?
I do.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Why, Allie? Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm sure people won't be asking why with this forecast, because you're definitely going to like what we've got in store for you. Partly sunny skies tomorrow, maybe a slim chance of a shower, but that's about it. We're looking at sunshine all throughout the work week, maybe mostly sunny skies at best, and high temperatures. They're going to be the warmest tomorrow for the next 7. They'll continue to fall as we head through the weekend back in the 60s. I know you and I are not excited about that.
No, not at all.
Definitely not.
Why, Alina? Why?
Exactly.
Right. Well, thanks for joining us at 5. We're going to be right back with ABC 15 News at 6.
The cold never bothered me anyway.
Aww.
Frozen.
Just let it go.
My daughter
Just
gets
let it go.
I'll let it go. That's right.
Nice.
We'll see you back here in just a few minutes.